This is not what I voted for at all, Donald Trump. And it is time for every honest, rational American who supported this man like I did because they wanted the end of foreign wars, for us to stop spending our money, lives, and destroying our military that we're supposed to use to defend the homeland. Here, the United States of America, for our people.
If I hear one more person say, "This is not what I voted for," I'm gonna fucking scream. This is exactly what you voted for. You know, we talk about ways of coping in these horrible times. You know how I cope? I go on YouTube and I watch long-ass videos of MAGA regretting their vote. And as they're sitting there crying and distraught and being like, how could I have been fooled so badly? You know what the common denominator always is? It's not about all the disgusting, horrible things they've done to little kids. It's not about all of the black and brown people that they're shipping off to El Salvador without due process. It's not about the innocent civilians that are getting shot in the street. It's not even about the hundreds of billions of dollars of tax money that he's stealing from the American people for his own vanity projects. It's because the bullshit finally affected them personally. It's because while the core ideology of the modern conservative movement is racism, which is why they fell for Donald Trump in the first place, their primary motive for anything is selfishness. And that is the sole reason they were so goddamn gullible that they swallowed everything Donald Trump said, yet they refused to listen to anyone else. Trump's gonna build a huge wall and Mexico's gonna pay for it. How do you know that? 'Cause he said so. Trump is a successful billionaire. He's a great businessman. How do you know that? He's been bankrupt multiple times. I don't know, 'cause he said so. Donald Trump is the only person who can get us out of this mess. How do you know? He said so. I mean, also, the Epstein files were entirely a Democratic hoax, and the 2020 election was stolen with no evidence, and the 20-plus people that have accused Donald Trump of sexually assaulting them are all lying. You know how I know? Because he said so! How did so many millions of people fall to a clusterfuck of third-grade mentality? And now they want to be welcomed back with open arms by doing nothing except just saying they regret it. It's like committing war crimes and then just saying, I'm sorry. It doesn't mean jack shit. The only thing that will mean anything are actions. Which means what I think is a good idea is that every single one of these individual former Trump cultists has to go out and physically convince 50 of their friends to never vote for Republicans ever again. That'll be a start. Also, get some fucking therapy. Find some way to deprogram yourself from falling head over heels in love with a malignant narcissist who thinks he's Jesus. Because you're gonna fall for that exact same shit all over again. The second another old white Republican gets up to a podium and says, I'm gonna get rid of all them illegals. Learn to coexist in fucking society. Learn to understand and be okay with the fact that the people around you who have different colored skin are not only just people like yourself, but many of them are smarter than you. And you have to be okay with that. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be fawning over authoritarian assholes trying to prove that somehow you are the best.
I don't know why Trump voters are acting surprised, but whatever is happening now is what Kamala Harris warned about. But many ignored her warnings and said she was exaggerating and fear-mongering. It was an open book test. Campaign speeches were public. All her debates were public. So people had the opportunity to examine the policies before casting a vote. So let's get to see more. Please like and hype the video and let me know your thoughts in the comments, alright? Let's get into it.
I have no empathy for Donald Trump voters because you democratically elected a fascist into office. And he's always been forthcoming how he's a fascist because we moved on from they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats way too fast because it was proven that Donald Trump just said that just cause. What was his source? Someone told me. Who's that someone? You saw a man get on national television and lie because he wanted to further divide the American people. He wanted to fearmonger. Why? To push his own agenda. You saw a liar and you said that this is going to be a great leader. You voted for a fascist. I have no sympathy for you. You're a fucking idiot. I do not care about leading with kindness anymore because you do not deserve my kindness. You have shown a lack of empathy, a lack of humanity, a lack of critical thinking skills. You deserve to be shamed. You voted for a fascist because you care about the economy. You don't care. You don't know how the economy works. You Googled what is a tariff after you voted. Okay, you only care about American citizens? American citizens are getting deported without due process. Oh, but those are undesirable Americans. I am waiting for the day that you become an undesirable American. Not too long ago, Irish and Italian Americans were considered undesirable Americans. They weren't even considered white. But because of how this bullshit country is ran and how stupid the construct of race is, they are considered good little white people now. But soon, someone, and it might be you, will turn into an undesirable. You were once on a pedestal, but now you are an undesirable. And now the gun is turned on to you. But no one's going to be able to help you because all the people who would have helped you are either dead, in jail, or gone. You're selfish. You are so funny to think that a billionaire cares about the working class people. If Donald Trump cared about the working class people, he would not be a billionaire. Billionaires get to be where they are by fucking over people like you and me in this country and in other countries. He does not care about you. He would rather see you die than give you a 10-cent raise. And that's the person that you're bootlicking. Someone who does not give a shit about you. Someone who thinks that you're an ant. That's who you are bootlicking.
No, I did not vote for the horrible treatment of people at our border. I voted for the man who promised to end Trump-era policies. And instead, I've watched that man uphold these policies. He has continued using the same detention centers that Trump used. And while he did end the Trump administration's family separation policy, he has continued turning away asylum seekers, only making one change to this policy stating that if you are an unaccompanied minor seeking asylum, you can stay, forcing families to send their children to the border alone, therefore perpetuating the problem of family separation. I did not vote for Trump or his policies or family separation or these detention centers. And now that I'm not getting what I voted for, I'm doing something very unfamiliar to you Trump supporters, and I'm criticizing my elected official. To the liberals defending Biden, you are defending Trump-era policies, and therefore you are defending Trump. And to Trump supporters, I don't know if you were living under a rock for the past 4 years or if you didn't read your candidate's platform, but this quite literally is what you voted for.
If you voted for that orange man and you are now saying, this is not what I voted for, this is not what I voted for, this is quite literally exactly what you voted for. And if you truly did not think that this was going to happen by electing that man into office, then you are willingly uneducated and ignorant. And I suggest next time you think about voting in an election, you educate yourself other than watching Fox News. Yeah.
After some of these Epstein files have come out, I keep seeing Trump supporters and Republicans say, well, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this. I wanted. Yes, you did. What are you talking about? I appreciate the coming around finally, but before the election, we knew that Donald Trump was best friends with Epstein. They partied together. It's on video. It's on camera. There's video of Trump and Epstein pointing out girls at a party that they like. Trump is on the record saying that Epstein is a fantastic guy, he's fun to be around, and he likes girls on the younger side. All of this was publicly available for the election. We knew that Trump flew on Epstein's plane 7 different times. That number has now been bumped up with the Epstein files, by the way. We knew this. You voted for Epstein's best friend. And now you're saying, oh, well, we didn't see this coming. Anybody saw this coming. Everybody saw this coming. What are you talking about?
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen. So what do I do now? What do the people do now? The ones that regret their vote. What do we do? I can't go out and get a regular job. And it's not even about these families being separated from their loved ones. It's not about these 5 and 6 year olds getting their families taken away from them in the middle of a school day. It's not about any of that. It's about me and my food stamps and my cash assistance. Me. That I'm the only one that matters in this country. I am taking my life back.
So the MAGA that believes this is not what they voted for, the ones shouting, I didn't vote for this, but what you're actually saying is, I didn't educate myself enough to know exactly what I was voting for. I'm speaking from experience here. I had no idea what I was voting for. I had no idea what Project 2025 was until a couple months ago. But if you look into Project 2025, you will see that about half of what is written there is already happening. So I implore you to look into Project 2025 and educate yourself on what exactly you did vote for, because I've been doing that the last few months, and it has been one of the most painful realizations I have ever made in my life.
Why is Trump doing this? This isn't what I voted for. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He was very clear. He was very explicit. I don't like the fuck around and find out mentality, but every time somebody hops online and be like, I can't believe he's doing this. Andrew Schultz, on his podcast, be like, this is what I voted for. Fucking Alex Jones crying in his car. This was the plan. This is exactly what he promised. He basically ran around for months being like, this is my ruin everything plan. Yes, it's ruin everything. It's a beautiful plan. Casey Anthony in charge of childcare. We're ruining everything.
I see a lot of Trump supporters, people that voted for Trump, now kind of changing the tune, right? In which I'm thankful that you guys see how wrong certain things are. But in the same manner, I see a lot of posts saying, this is not what I voted for. Yes, it is. This is exactly what you voted for.
Trump voters refused to accept the truth because Trump already served as president in his first term. So people had already seen his governing style, how he communicated, and all the controversies that surrounded his administration. But they ignored all that, They had years of evidence to evaluate before making their decisions. Because Trump, he openly talked about immigration, he talked about the tariffs, but many Trump voters, they thought that things would work out differently for them. It is being said that when someone shows you their true colors, it is better you believe them, It is better you pay attention. Elections are not just about campaign slogans. They have consequences, and you should never vote based on emotion only, You should carefully examine the policies and the candidate's history. Millions of Americans, they try to warn them, friends, neighbors, and even family members, not to vote for Trump. But you see, it's like Kamala was a prophet because all her warnings are happening in real time. She warned about the war with Iran, she warned about the tariffs, and she warned that Trump didn't have any economic plan about the economy. And just look at the economy. Millions of Americans cannot afford gas, groceries, rent, electricity, and so forth, you see? And that's why many Americans, they feel no sympathy for Trump voters who are complaining because they mocked all the people who raised the alarm. The regret now cannot undo the consequences because his policies are already affecting people's lives, families, jobs, and even communities. The damage has already been done, and rebuilding trust and repairing the consequences is gonna take time. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.